The Institute has proven to be a valuable partner in delivering counterterrorism programming that supports Canada's foreign policy. Today's event allows us to see the results of ongoing collaboration between IIJ and Kenyan stakeholders. Together, they have created a comprehensive training program that promotes consistent professional approaches to prosecuting complex cross-border terrorism cases. Through Canada's support to the IIJ, this curriculum will equip criminal justice practitioners with investigative and prosecutorial skills they need. It will also foster multi-agency collaboration in detecting, deterring, and prosecuting terrorist financing and cyber terrorism. This initiative reinforces Canada's long-standing cooperation with Kenya and all of our other partners in East Africa. Together, we are addressing peace and security challenges in the region. We value these partnerships deeply as we work towards a coordinated, rules-based regional approach, one that prevents criminal and terrorist networks from evading justice or exploiting jurisdictional gaps. Canada also values its collaboration with the IIJ in strengthening mutual legal assistance and international judicial cooperation mechanisms across East Africa, and we look forward to continuing this important work. To close, we congratulate the ODPP on the successful development and launch of this training curriculum, and we thank all representatives here today for your dedication to enhancing regional security. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Kerr, for your remarks. Next, I want to invite Madam Faith Odhiambo, the immediate former chair of the Law Society of Kenya.
The Director of Public Prosecutions, allow me to adopt the protocol as was previously pronounced. Good morning, everyone. I think it's a cold morning, but we can manage something better. Good morning. I'm delighted to join you today and witness this truly auspicious moment, the launch of a curriculum that reflects both professional maturity and institutional foresight. This launch comes at a critical moment in our national and global history. Terrorism and financing of terrorism remain among the most complex threats confronting constitutional democracies. These crimes are adaptive, transnational, technologically sophisticated, and deeply disruptive, not only to national security, but to social cohesion and economic stability. Kenya, as a regional hub and an open democracy, sits squarely at the intersection of these risks. Yet the defining question for our justice system has never been whether the state should act, but how it acts. As the former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan once observed, upholding human rights is not an obstacle to security, it's essential to achieving it. That insight remains profoundly relevant today. The global community has recognized this balance. International frameworks such as the Financial Action Task Force recommendations, the United Nations Security Council resolutions of 1373 and 2462, and the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime Counterterrorism legal instruments all emphasize a common principle. Effective counterterrorism must be grounded in the rule of law, due process, and respect of fundamental rights. Kenya is not operating in isolation. Jurisdictions that have demonstrated best practice, such as the United Kingdom, Canada, and South Africa, have learned sometimes the hard way that prosecutions built on weak evidence, unlawful investigations, or disregard for procedural safeguards ultimately fail in court and damage institutional legitimacy. But contrast, specialized prosecution training, interdisciplinary collaboration, and strong evidentiary standards have proven to be force multipliers. It is therefore commendable that this curriculum recognizes that counterterrorism prosecutions are not ordinary criminal cases. They require sophisticated understanding on financial systems and beneficial ownership, competence in handling digital and intelligence-derived evidence, familiarity with mutual legal assistance, and international cooperation, and above all, an unshakable commitment to constitutional boundaries. From the perspective of the Law Society of Kenya, this initiative advances three essential imperatives. First is professional excellence. The complexity of terrorism financing cases demands continuous learning. As Justice Boyce Brandeau once cautioned, the greatest dangers to liberty lurk in insidious encroachment by men of zeal, well-meaning, but without understanding. Training is how zeal is disciplined by understanding. Secondly, constitutional supremacy. Our Constitution is not suspended by fear or crisis. The rights to fair trial, legal representation, and human dignity are not procedural inconveniences. They are the very sources of the justice system's legitimacy. A prosecution secured at the expense of constitutional safeguards is a short-term victory and long-term failure. Third, institutional trust. Public confidence in counterterrorism efforts is earned when communities see justice, not vengeance, precision, not profiling, accountability, not arbitrariness. International experience shows that lawful prosecutions strengthen cooperation with communities, which in itself is a critical pillar of counterterrorism. As the bar, we are acutely conscious that lawyers are not passive actors. Prosecutors, defense counsel, and judges collectively shape the moral and legal architecture of national security responses. Where one actor compromises standards, the entire system is weakened. The Law Society of Kenya therefore welcomes this curriculum not merely as a technical tool, but as a statement of values that Kenya fights against terrorism and will be firm, intelligent, and lawful. True professional power is reclaimed through ethical practice. The integrity of prosecutions determines the credibility of institutions, the strength of governance, and ultimately, the trust between the state and its people. On behalf of the Law Society of Kenya, I commend the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions for this forward-looking initiative and reaffirm our commitment to continue collaborating in strengthening a justice system that is both secure and just. As I conclude, I'm reminded of an African proverb, wisdom is like a baobab tree, no one individual can embrace it alone. This curriculum reminds us that justice, security, and the rule of law are collective responsibilities, best upheld when institutions learn together, act together, and remain accountable to the people they serve. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Faith Odhiambo, former Chair LSK, for those inspiring remarks. And we also applaud you for your service at the ODPP Advisory Board and wish you well in your next endeavors. Now, next, I wish to call the Deputy Attorney General of Mozambique, Madam Olinda Kosa, to make her remarks.
Digníssimo Diretor do Ministério Público da República do Quênia e Presidente da Associação dos Procuradores da África Oriental, EAIP, Sua Excelência Razon Ingonga, digníssimos diretores dos Ministérios Públicos e Procuradores Gerais, dos membros da EAIP, Suas Excelências representantes do Poder Judiciário, excelentíssimos membros do Corpo Diplomático, excelentíssimos parceiros de cooperação, distintos convidados. Quero, antes de mais, em nome do Ministério Público da República de Moçambique, e especialmente em nome do mais alto dirigente Sua Excelência Américo Julião Letela, digníssimo Procurador-Geral da República de Moçambique, a quem represento neste momento, saudar a todos e manifestar a nossa mais alta estima e consideração. É com grande honra que participamos neste momento histórico, o lançamento do currículo de formação em matéria de combate ao terrorismo e ao financiamento do terrorismo. O terrorismo continua a representar uma das ameaças mais sérias à paz, à segurança e ao desenvolvimento sustentável dos nossos países, na África Oriental, no continente e no mundo. Portanto, é uma ameaça global. No contexto da EIP, é importante sublinhar que o combate ao terrorismo e ao seu financiamento é de importância estratégica para os países da costa oriental, africana e outros Estados-membros, porque se trata de uma ameaça transnacional, adaptável e interligada a outras formas de criminalidade organizada, sem descurar também do facto de grande parte dos nossos países já ter enfrentado ou estar a enfrentar ataques terroristas ou insurgentes com ligações, redes extremistas, o que demonstra que esta ameaça se desloca facilmente entre os nossos países, relevando que mesmo os Estados que ainda não foram diretamente afetados prometem vulnerar. O currículo que hoje será lançado representa um passo decisivo para fortalecer a capacidade técnica do Ministério Público queniano na prevenção, investigação, acusação e cooperação internacional em casos complexos de terrorismo e de financiamento ao terrorismo. Ao dotar os procuradores, investigadores e outros intervenientes na investigação e prossecução penal de ferramentas modernas, conhecimento atualizado e metodologias harmonizadas, está-se a reforçar a eficácia da ação penal e a credibilidade do sistema da justiça da República do Quênia. Mas a importância deste currículo vai além das fronteiras e das instituições da República do Quênia. No âmbito da EIP, este instrumento formativo pode e deve servir de inspiração para os países que ainda não desenharam o seu currículo entre os centros de formação de procuradores, juízes, investigadores e outras agências de aplicação da lei dos países membros, que permitirá harmonizar conteúdos, alinhar padrões de atuação e promover uma compreensão comum dos desafios jurídicos e operacionais ligados ao terrorismo. A harmonização da formação é um passo essencial para assegurar uma resposta penal coordenada e uniforme em toda a região da EIP, bem como garantir uma cooperação jurídica mais eficiente e eficaz. Redes terroristas e fluxos ilícitos de financiamento ao terrorismo não respeitam fronteiras. A nossa resposta também não pode ser fragmentada. Precisamos de uma cooperação sólida, baseada em confiança mútua, padrões comuns e capacidades equivalentes. Ao promover a partilha deste currículo, estamos a lançar as bases para uma atuação regional mais assertiva e uma prevenção mais eficaz, investigações mais robustas e uma prossecução penal mais consistente em todos os países membros da EIP. que seja este currículo. Portanto, não apenas o lançamento de um currículo, mas o início de uma nova etapa de colaboração regional, de excelência técnica e de compromisso firme com a justiça e a segurança dos nossos países. Pela vossa atenção, o meu muito obrigada. Thank you very much for your attention. Asante sana.
Thank you so much, Ms. Kosa, for your remark. Indeed, there's never been more requirement for assertive regional action on these matters. And we also thank you, because I know we have had several engagements, training sessions with the help of IDLO, another important partner of ours, on matters transnational organized crimes in Maputo, involving all the countries in the region. Thank you. Allow me to recognize Superintendent Stephen Guyo from the Kenya Prison Service. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Allow me also to recognize Ms. Leah Macharia from the Council of Legal Education. Thank you for showing up. Ms. Lorraine Ochiel from the IDLO, very good partner of ours. Thank you so much. Our very key stakeholders, I mentioned earlier, Chief Magistrate Leah Juma. I see the Honorable Anthony Mishigi, also a Chief Magistrate at Shanzu Law Courts. Very, very key stakeholders. Welcome all, and thanks for honoring us with your presence. Next, I want to invite the Director General, NCTC, Mr. Keegan, who wears two hats today. He's a key stakeholder in this fight against CT, but he will also be representing the Director General of the National Intelligence Service, our former boss and a very key fighter in matters CT. Welcome.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, our host, the DPP, may I write on the protocols since established, and to thank the DPP for inviting us to this important occasion. As indicated by the MC, I'm wearing two hats, one DG NCTC and one of my boss, the DG Senior Counsel, DG NIS, Nordin Haji. As NCTC, we're very excited, and we purpose that we need to attend this occasion. Why? Because we are in this CV ecosystem with the DPP and all the stakeholders. For NCTC, we are a multi-agency center of 13 government agencies under the Porter Act, and in that synergy at NCTC, together with the DPP and all the other security government agencies, we've really put in a lot of effort in driving CT efforts and ensuring that CT is degraded to the level it is. And it's thus exciting indeed to be here to join the DPP and the team in launching this curriculum. This will be a very key tool for us as a center in advancing our national strategy to prevent and counter terrorism 2025-2026, which is now ongoing with the support of Government of Kenya and other stakeholders, including the EU and other stakeholders within Kenya. So DPP count on us as a center, and this partnership and the synergy we play to continue with together into the future. As I indicated, allow me to read the speech from Senior Counsel Nordin Haji, former DPP. He told me he's away on duty, but I think the message will come home. Thank you very much. From the DG Senior Counsel Nordin Haji, it's my pleasure to join you today for this important and timely engagement. I extend my sincere congratulations and its partners for the dedication and persistence demonstrated over the years past 2 years, which is culminating in today's launch of the City and counter-financing of terrorism prosecution curriculum. The presence of the participants from across government institutions, as well as the East African region and beyond, reflects the significance of this milestone. It affirms that the fight against terrorism and transnational organized crime is not the responsibility of a single institution or state, but a shared regional and global undertaking. This curriculum builds upon existing commitments and national strategies while offering us an opportunity to reassess the adequacy of our legal, policy, and institutional frameworks in countering terrorism and transnational organized crime. At the heart of these efforts lie a fundamental imperative: the protection of human life, as well as the preservation of national and regional peace and security. Ladies and gentlemen, the terrorist networks today operate within complex ecosystems. Their survival depends on convergence with organized criminal enterprises, whether through trafficking in arms, narcotics, persons, wildlife, timber, precious minerals, piracy, kidnapping for ransom, extortion, or abuse of legitimate financial and charitable structures. The strategic location of the East African region, while a source of economic opportunity, also exposes us to these interconnected threats. Violent extremism, financed through illicit trade, and criminal enterprises continues to undermine development gains, exacerbate fragility, and threaten regional stability. Therefore, terrorism in particular, its financing presents a multifaceted threat that none of us can tackle single-handedly. Disrupting it requires more than arrests. It requires intelligence, financial analysis, prosecutorial precision, financial flows, and understand the shifting alliances between extremist groups and criminal syndicates. However, in prosecutions, from intelligence collection and analysis to investigations to financial tracing and asset recovery, prosecutorial action, and finally judicial determination, this is where institution becomes indispensable. Consequently, the United Nations Security Council Resolution 2095 of 2014 calls upon states to better understand the interaction of terrorism and cross-border crime and its impact on international peace and security, and requires states to strengthen coordination in addressing this interaction. This necessitates structured intelligence to prosecution protocols, early engagement between investigators and prosecutors, shared threat assessments, joint training initiatives, harmonization of legal and evidentiary standards across jurisdictions, and real-time cross-border information exchange. Ladies and gentlemen, continuous learning and professional development are not optional in this field. They are essential. Terrorism and its financing mechanisms evolve rapidly, adapting to enforcement pressure and technological change. Threat assessments and mitigation strategies within both national and international legal frameworks is particularly commendable. It reflects an understanding that successful prosecutions depend not only on evidence gathering, but also on deep contextual knowledge of the threat environment. The Prosecution Training Institute, PTI, has now matured into a critical center of excellence. Its role is developing policy tools and structured curricula, strengthens prosecutorial capacity not only in Kenya, but also across the region and beyond. It's imperative to note that information sharing is not limited to intelligence sharing, but also includes knowledge transfer through institutions like the PTI. Collaborations in capacity building initiatives therefore bridge the existing knowledge gaps in counterterrorism and transnational organized crime. Ladies and gentlemen, our resolutions and strategies will be meaningful if they are matched with sustained coordination, collaboration, and trust within our institutions and across borders. As we mark this important milestone, let us therefore reaffirm our collective commitment to strengthening our legal frameworks, deepening interagency cooperation, and investing in professional development of those on the front line of this effort. I once again congratulate the Office of the DPP and all partners on this significant achievement, and I look forward to the impact this curriculum will have in strengthening our collective resolve and capacity. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Karibuni Kenya.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kigen, for those remarks. Indeed, continuous learning is not optional, but an imperative. And we are hoping that we are going to enhance the fight with the skills you are going to acquire through this curriculum. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to recognize a few guests, also critical stakeholders. Major General Mwanzia from the National Defense College, welcome. And Chief Magistrate from Kahawa, Mr. Richard Koech, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now, moving further, now enter into the prosecutorial authorities in the region, and we'll begin with the Honorable Lino Agunzu, the Director of Public Prosecutions, Republic of Uganda. Welcome, sir. Clap for him as he comes.
Our host, Honorable Ranson, the DPP of the Republic of Kenya, the Honorable DPPs and heads of prosecution agencies within the East African region and beyond who are present here this morning, Your Excellencies and members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, allow me observe and recognize the protocol as laid down by the previous speakers. Honorable DPP, I am honored to be here this morning to join you on this occasion when you launch the Counterterrorism and Countering Financing of Terrorism curriculum. I thank you for inviting me. This is a demonstration of the brotherhood we share in the region. I also and the ODPP Kenya upon this very important launch this morning. This not only demonstrates your resolve, but it is a significant milestone in Kenya's sustained efforts to counter the scourge of terrorism. It also demonstrates Kenya's growing leadership in this aspect of law enforcement in East Africa, and we are here to demonstrate our unwavering support and also to learn and to benchmark. I am confident the curriculum will contribute significantly in building Kenya's capacity to counter terrorism more professionally and more effectively. I wish to thank our partners, the British High Commission, the Government of Canada, IIJ, and others for the partnership and for your invaluable support in this effort. This launch also demonstrates what we can achieve if we work together in partnership. Let us strengthen our partnership in this war against terrorism in all its forms. This is our only guarantee of success. I thank my fellow heads of prosecution agencies and authorities who have joined us here today for honoring the invitation of our brother, who is also our president. I once again congratulate you, Honorable DPP, and I commend you for your distinguished leadership in this endeavor. I thank you all for listening to me.
Thank you very much, DPP. We were more familiar with your predecessor, Allow me to, on behalf of my colleagues, congratulate you on your appointment as DPP Uganda, and thank you for coming. Next, I want to invite also a very important partner and friend of the ODPP Kenya, the Honorable Gilbert Firi, Senior Counsel, the Director of Public Prosecutions, Zambia. Welcome, sir.
Hamjambo. I can't hear you. Hamjambo. That sounds like it. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to stand on the protocol already so ably observed. It is both a distinct honor and a privilege to address this august gathering in the Republic of Kenya on this important occasion, on the launch of the Counter-Terrorism and Counter-Financing of Terrorism Prosecution curriculum. At the outset, permit me to convey warm greetings from the government and the people of the Republic of Zambia, and to express our sincere gratitude for the generous hospitality already extended to me since my arrival in Nairobi yesterday. And Honorable DPP, just to thank you for your leadership. Everything rises and falls on leadership. Without proper leadership, nothing of what we are witnessing today happens. And also to commend the partners that have partnered with you, the government of the United Kingdom, Canada, and other cooperating partners. Without that assistance, nothing happens. But it's all about leadership at the end of the day. From Zambia's perspective, while we continue to enjoy relative peace and stability, we remain acutely aware that no nation is insulated from evolving regional and global security threats. Terrorism and its financing transcends borders, exploiting vulnerabilities wherever they may arise. It is in this context that Zambia has taken deliberate steps to strengthen its legal and institutional framework. The enactment of the Anti-Terrorism and Non-Proliferation Act No. 21 of 2018, which was enhanced by 2023 amendments, reflects our firm resolve to prevent, detect, investigate, and prosecute terrorism and related offenses with effectiveness and precision. These legislative measures provide a robust foundation upon which our prosecutorial efforts are anchored. However, distinguished colleagues, strong laws alone are not sufficient. They must be complemented by strong institutions and highly skilled prosecutors. The complexity of terrorism cases, often involving digital evidence, financial intelligence, cross-border cooperation, and intricate investigative processes, demands specialized knowledge and strategic prosecutorial capacity. It is therefore particularly fitting that we gather here today to witness the launch of a structured and specialized prosecution curriculum dedicated to counter-terrorism and counter-financing of terrorism. Such a curriculum, no doubt, will promote consistency, technical excellence, and strategic case management. It will strengthen our ability to translate investigations into credible, evidence-based prosecutions capable of withstanding judicial scrutiny. To my fellow directors of public prosecution, prosecutors, we occupy a central and indispensable role in the collective fight against terrorism. While security agencies might detect and disrupt threats, it is our constitutional mandate to ensure that the rule of law prevails through fair, lawful, and effective prosecutions. Counter-terrorism is therefore not merely a security imperative. It is fundamentally a legal responsibility. Equally critical is the fight against financing of terrorism. Financing constitutes the lifeblood of terrorist operations. Without access to resources, whether derived from organized crime, illicit trade, abuse of financial systems, or cross-border transfers, terrorist networks cannot sustain their activities. Strengthening financial intelligence, collaboration, asset tracing, freezing, and forfeiture mechanisms remain central to any prosecutorial strategy. Zambia attaches great importance to regional and international cooperation. Platforms that bring together prosecutorial leadership across our regions provide invaluable opportunities for collaboration, peer learning, and coordinated responses. Terror networks operate transnationally. Our response must therefore be equally coordinated, seamless, and resolute. The launch of this prosecution curriculum here in Kenya marks a significant milestone. Like I said, it demonstrates leadership, foresight, and an unwavering commitment to strengthening institutional capacity within our region. It is my earnest hope, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that this initiative will contribute to the harmonization of prosecutorial standards and deepen cooperation among our respective jurisdictions. As we fortify our counter-terrorism networks and frameworks, we must remain steadfast in upholding the rule of law. The legitimacy of our efforts rests on fairness, accountability, and respect for constitutional guarantees. Security and human rights are not mutually exclusive objectives. Rather, they are mutually reinforcing pillars of justice and democratic governance, as we heard from the past president of Kenya Law Society. Allow me to reaffirm Zambia's unwavering commitment to working closely with the Republic of Kenya and all regional partners to ensure that our jurisdictions do not serve as safe havens for terrorists or their financiers. In Zambia, we're not waiting for something tragic to happen before we can respond. We are already getting ready and preparing. Allow me, in conclusion, to commend the government of Kenya, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, and all stakeholders whose dedication has made this initiative possible. May today's launch herald deeper cooperation, stronger institutions, and more resilient justice systems across our region. I thank you all for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you, DPP Zambia, for those remarks. And it is indeed our hope that this curriculum will achieve that desire of harmonizing prosecutorial standards in the region so that we apply the same standards throughout the region. Next, I want to invite Jirani, Mheshimiwa Sylvester Mwakitalu, mkurugenzi wa mashtaka ya umma, Republic of Tanzania. DPP, I've set for you the standards. Don't lower them. Ni Kiswahili.
Asante sana. Honorable Renson Igonga, DPP Kenya, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of the National Prosecution Services Tanzania, I'm honored to join you in this important event of launching the curriculum for counter-terrorism and terrorist financing. Thank you very much for the invitation. Strengthening our prosecutorial capacity to combat terrorism and its financing is both timely and essential. Sharing experiences and learning from our regional counterparts is invaluable as we unite to confront terrorism. Such collaboration strengthens the rule of law and justice across our nations. I congratulate my brother Igonga and the entire ODPP for organizing this important event and championing this prosecution curriculum. Your commitment to equipping prosecutors to address terrorism and its financing is commendable. As you implement this initiative, I wish you every success. The challenges ahead are significant, but so are the opportunities to make positive impact on justice in Kenya and the entire region. I'm very much impressed by the presentation made by Mr. Murama on the curriculum. The shared insights and services of Tanzania, we have learned valuable lessons to integrate in our own prosecutorial strategies. Mutual learning and cooperation are essential as we pursue our shared missions of fighting against terrorism and terrorist financing. I reaffirm our commitment to cooperate and collaborate with Kenya and the entire region, especially in counter-terrorism and its financing. Thank you very much, and may this event mark the beginning of even greater achievements for all our prosecutorial authorities across the region. Asanteni sana kwa kunisikiliza.
Asante sana Bwana DPP, and asante kwa kujumuika na sisi. Next, I want to invite the Honorable Lady Justice Lucy Njuguna, Judge of Appeal. I know most of my colleagues, even me, I met you just today after your promotion. Allow me to congratulate you also on your promotion to the Court of Appeal. Welcome.
Our very own DPP, because I know there are several DPPs in the room, Mr. Lenson Igoga, our distinguished partners, stakeholders, and the distinguished ladies and gentlemen in the House, good morning. Yes, please allow me to ride on the protocols that have been ably established by Mr. Kemo. My name is Justice Lucy Njuguna, a judge of the Court of Appeal, and I'm here to represent the Honorable Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya. Before I can read the Honorable Chief Justice's remarks, please allow me to pass my hearty congratulations to the DPP and the Office of the ODPP for this milestone. Just a few months ago, we had gathered for the launch of guidelines on prosecution and investigations of corruption matters in the specialized courts, in the Chief Magistrate's Court, and now here we are today. We are very happy to be associated with the Office of the DPP, and please keep it up. We know we are in safe hands. And we want, on behalf of the CJ, want to pledge your support as we have always done. And as you are well aware, we have specialized courts for the counter-terrorism, on matters of counter-terrorism. And our judicial officers who man those courts are present. Are they here with us? Yeah, may I please ask them to stand? They play a very important role. Yes. Thank you very, very much, and please keep up the good work. Yes, so I will now proceed to read the comments by the Honorable Chief Justice. It is my pleasure to join you at this important milestone, the launch of the curriculum on counterterrorism and countering the financing of terrorism. I am grateful for the invitation and for the opportunity to stand with you as you strengthen prosecutorial capacity in one of the most complex and consequential areas of our time. Indeed, the launch of the curriculum reflects foresight, institutional maturity, and a deep commitment to safeguarding our nation under the rule of law. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions occupies a central and constitutionally anchored role within our justice architecture. As an independent office, the ODPP carries a solemn constitutional responsibility. In discharging this responsibility, the ODPP stands as a guardian of legality, fairness, and public interest. As we all agree, the prosecutorial function is not merely about securing convictions. It is about ensuring that justice is done fairly, transparently, and in fidelity to constitutional values. Within the framework of the National Council on the Administration of Justice, NCAJ, where ODPP is a valued member, we have witnessed firsthand the professionalism and dedication with which this office discharges its mandate. Terrorism and the financing of terrorism present unique evidentially, procedural, and transnational challenges. They demand not only technical expertise, but also a firm grounding in constitutional safeguards, human rights standards, and international cooperation mechanisms. The ODPP's decision to develop a structured and comprehensive curriculum in this area is therefore both timely and commendable. Terrorism strikes at the heart of societal stability. It threatens lives, undermines institutions, and seeks to erode public confidence in the state's capacity to maintain order and security. Equally, the financing of terrorism happens through hidden and sophisticated networks requiring financial intelligence and meticulous evidentiary standards. This curriculum signals a commitment to professional excellence, doctrinal adherence, and ethical responsibility in handling such cases. As the judiciary, we recognize that our respective mandates are distinct yet complementary. The effectiveness of the criminal justice system depends on principled investigation, diligent prosecution, and impartial adjudication. We remain keen to support and work with ODPP in advancing the ends of justice, especially in matters related to counterterrorism and its financing. Our courts have consistently endeavored to balance national security imperatives with the protection of fundamental rights and freedoms. We have been deliberate to ensure that the fight against terrorism does not compromise the constitutional order that we seek to defend. In this regard, the establishment of Kahawa Magistrates Court as a specialized court for terrorism and related offenses marked a significant institutional innovation and commitment. This court represents a deliberate effort to enhance expertise, efficiency, and consistency in handling complex security-related questions. Through specialized, targeted judicial training and improved infrastructure, we aim to facilitate expeditious trials while upholding the highest standards of fairness and due process. As the chairperson of the NCAJ, I reaffirm our commitment to sustained collaboration among justice sector actors. The challenges posed by terrorism cannot be addressed in silos. They require coordinated policy dialogue, shared learning, and mutual respect for institutional mandates. Together, we must continue to build capacity, refine procedures, and promote accountability at every stage of the justice chain. In closing, I commend the ODPP for this timely and forward-looking initiative. This curriculum is more than a training tool. It is a statement of institutional resolve. It affirms that Kenya's response to terrorism will be anchored in the principles espoused under the Constitution. May this launch mark the beginning of deeper collaboration, strengthened competence, and renewed commitment to justice. Together, let us ensure that in confronting one of the gravest threats to our nation, we remain steadfast in upholding the Constitution and the rule of law. Thank you and God bless you all. Honorable Justice Martha Koome, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya and the President of the Supreme Court. Thank you very, very much. And once again, congratulations to the DPP and his office.
Thank you, Your Ladyship, for those remarks. And just to assure you that as prosecutors, we act as ministers of justice and believe in fairness in the work that we do. Our regards to the Chief Justice, and thank you for showing up to support us. Next, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to invite Ms. Rosie Cave, the Deputy High Commissioner, BHC, to make her remarks.
Director of Public Prosecutions, DPPs from the region, distinguished guests, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Good morning. It's a real honour to join you today for this landmark moment, the official launch of the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions Counter-Terrorism and Countering the Financing of Terror curriculum. This launch marks a major step forward not only for the ODPP, but for Kenya's wider criminal justice system and indeed for regional counter-terrorism efforts. This curriculum is the product of several years of hard work, vision and collaboration, developed by the ODPP's dedicated working group in partnership with the UK's criminal justice team at the British High Commission and our colleagues from the US Department of Justice. It represents the first initiative of its kind in the region. It's particularly groundbreaking for its strong focus on countering terrorism financing, an increasingly complex and evolving threat that demands specialised prosecutorial skills. What makes this curriculum truly stand out is not simply its scale, though I hear it can be up to 5 days reading. It is certainly extensive, but it's also its depth and practical value. It's designed to equip prosecutors with tools that translate directly into stronger, fairer, and more effective terrorism and terrorism financing prosecutions. The blend of practical case studies, scenario-based exercises, and applied legal analysis ensures it is not just a document to read, but one to use, something that will shape day-to-day prosecutorial practice. To the ODPP leadership, your commitment to long-term institutional development is evident in every stage of this process. Releasing staff, dedicating time, and supporting the working group throughout this multi-year journey shows real strategic leadership. This curriculum will strengthen Kenya's ability to meet both current and emerging security challenges, and it will do so in a way that embeds professionalism, consistency, and rule of law principles across the country. Congratulations. And to the women and men who are the ODPP working group, your contribution has been extraordinary, balancing significant caseloads, public service commitments, and tight timelines, while still producing a curriculum of this calibre is an achievement that deserves real commendation. Many of you have invested evenings, weekends, personal time to bring this to life. Your dedication reflects your deep commitment to Kenya's justice system and to public safety. You should be incredibly proud. We applaud you. The UK is proud to have played a role in this process. Colleagues from the British High Commission and the US Department of Justice brought not only expertise, but genuine passion to the work, and we thank them for the lasting contributions they have made to ensure the curriculum reflects global best practice and emerging trends in counter-terrorism. This curriculum aligns with the UK's long-standing partnership with Kenya in countering terrorism and violent extremism, and directly supports commitments made under the UK-Kenya Strategic Partnership and Security Compact. It complements our shared objective of strengthening the entire criminal justice pathway, from investigation to prosecution to detention, and builds on Kenya's growing leadership in the region as a champion of professionalised, rule-of-law-based CT practice. Today is not only a celebration of what has been achieved, but the start of what comes next. As the curriculum is rolled out, including its first deliveries, we look forward to continuing to support the ODPP and its partners. This launch marks a point of transformation, the beginning of a new era in Kenya's efforts to deliver fair, effective, and sustainable justice in terrorism and terrorism financing cases. Congratulations once again to everyone involved in reaching this milestone. Thank you for your dedication, your partnership, and your leadership.
Thank you, Madam Commissioner, for your remarks, and we at ODPP are indeed indebted to you for helping us come up with this curriculum. Thank you very much. Now, allow me to recognize some key partners who just joined us. Ms. Carla Benini, Acting Deputy Chief de Mission, U.S. Embassy. Welcome, Madam. Mr. Michael Oskin, also of the U.S. Embassy. Welcome. And Mr. Charles Otiende, a Commissioner at the National Police Service Commission. Welcome. Next, I hope you've warmed your seat, Madam, is Ms. Carla Benini, the Acting Deputy Chief de Mission, U.S. Embassy. Please welcome and make your remarks.
Director of Public Prosecutions Renson Ingonga, CT Course Directors Alan Mulama and Dr. Marcela Odero, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is a real pleasure to be here, all protocols observed. I am just really grateful for the invitation to be with you this morning to mark this important occasion for ODPP in its fight against terrorism. This new CT curriculum will become the cornerstone guide for investigations and prosecutions of terrorism cases throughout Kenya. This comprehensive manual represents the strong partnership between the United States and Kenya and our shared commitment to combat terrorism while upholding justice. The United States provided significant funding to support the creation of the manual, which I am told took 15 prosecutors 3 years to complete. So really this is a joyous occasion to mark this launch with you today. I am also told that this curriculum is likely the only one of its kind in Africa, so also incredibly exciting. I am so proud to have helped. Yeah, I think that deserves a round of applause. We are incredibly proud to have helped support this foundational document that will aid in Kenya's pursuit of justice now and into the long term. You know, an important way that we show our humanity and respect for the rule of law is to conduct competent, speedy, and fair trials of those accused of committing terrorist acts, offenses that can range from radicalization efforts to actual attacks. And so advocacy and effective prosecutions by the ODPP sends a real message that these crimes will be seriously pursued in a court of law. Expeditious and fair results by the judiciary demonstrate to society that neither mob justice nor prejudice rules the day in these matters. This manual and the ODPP programs in the future will absolutely be preparing prosecutors for this very difficult task. It will be the people, prosecutors, investigators, and agents that will really breathe life into this document through their actions, both in the field and in the courtroom, to help make both our countries safer and more prosperous. I really just wanted to say it is an honor to attend this launch. I really want to congratulate the curriculum team who spent many long days and nights over the past 3 years creating this critical document, and wish you all the best in the future and look forward to continuing the partnership. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam, for your remarks, and we also appreciate your continued support in this area. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to recognize the presence of Mr. Nelson Harvey, Senior Counsel. Mr. Harvey was the 49th President of the Law Society of Kenya. I think he was the President when we started developing this document. Thank you very much, sir, for attending to show your support. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the climax of this day, and I want you to be upstanding as we invite Mr. Renson Ingonga, Chief of the Burning Spear, Order of the Golden Warrior, the Director of Public Prosecutions, Kenya. Please welcome him with a round of applause.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kemo. My brothers and colleagues, DPPs from the region, our friends from the British High Commission, the US Embassy, Canadian High Commission, IIJ, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my profound pleasure on behalf of the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution to welcome you all to this important occasion. The launch of the ODPP curriculum on counterterrorism and countering the financing of terrorism is a major milestone and achievement for our office and the broader criminal justice sector. The significance of this occasion cannot be underscored because it provides an opportunity to demonstrate our resolve to ensure that we equip our prosecutors and law enforcement agencies with the requisite knowledge to be able to institute and prosecute terrorism and terrorism-related crimes. The counterterrorism and counter-financing of terrorism curriculum builds upon our commitments to ensuring that our prosecutorial tools remain up to date to counter terrorism and transorganized crimes. The launch of the curriculum comes at an opportune time following the successful investigation and prosecution of high-profile cases such as the Dusit D2 terror attack, where the accused persons were found guilty of financing terrorist activities and facilitation of terrorist activities, a victory that underscores our ability to dismantle the financial and logistical support structures of terror groups. Further, we achieved a landmark conviction in the bioterrorism case involving a medical doctor who plotted to deploy anthrax, a biological weapon of mass destruction, a case which garnered significant local and international attention. The lessons learned and strategies applied in these cases have been incorporated into the curriculum. They serve as a blueprint for our network versus network approach, demonstrating how we can secure justice even in the most complex, high-stakes environment. I'm proud to see these real-world victories now integrated in the training of the next generation of prosecutors at the Prosecution Training Institute. This achievement would not have been possible without deep-rooted international cooperation. I wish to express my deepest gratitude to the strategic partners who were instrumental in the developing of this curriculum: the British High Commission, the United States Department of Justice, OPDAT, the International Institute for Justice, and the Rule of Law, IIJ. Ladies and gentlemen, a key learning objective of this training involves navigating the complexities of mutual legal assistance. Our successful coordination and collaboration with law enforcement agencies, telecommunication and financial institutions domiciled in the UK and the USA have been vital in securing digital and financial evidence. The methodologies utilized in the preservation and presentation of digital evidence have not only been unique, but have also tested the very limits of our legal framework and its response to emerging trends. By examining these real-world examples in the curriculum, we explore how to streamline our processes and ensure that our prosecutors are adept at securing the evidence from foreign jurisdictions. In addition, the course modules are designed to equip prosecutors with the specialized skills to disrupt these diverse terrorism financing streams, including illicit trafficking, environmental crime, and territorial taxation. By treating these activities not as isolated crimes, but as the financial engine of terrorism, the curriculum enables the ODPP to strike at the very heart of terrorist activities. The curriculum is cognizant of the fact that the Eastern Africa region, by virtue of its strategic location and porous borders, faces unique vulnerabilities such as the nexus between terrorism and organized crime. The training modules provide insights into how the regional landscape is exploited to finance terrorism and violent extremism through persistent illicit trafficking and cross-border criminal activities. Recognizing the intricate links between transnational organized crimes and terrorism and the financial mechanisms, the curriculum is grounded in a robust legal architecture anchored by the International Convention for the Suppression of the Financing of Terrorism of 2002. This convention obligates states to criminalize the funding of terrorist activities, providing basis upon which prosecutions are built. The curriculum further explores the evolution of the international mandates, specifically the United Nations Security Council Resolution number 2195, which directs states to address the crime-terror nexus as a unified threat to security. This is reinforced by the landmark United Nations Security Council Resolution number 2462 of March 2019, a core component of our training that mandates the suppression of all forms of financial support, even in the absence of a link to a specific terrorist act. Ladies and gentlemen, the core module of this curriculum is also dedicated to the digital frontier. The digital landscape has facilitated a new generation of high-value cybercrimes, most notably impersonation and phishing, which terrorist groups increasingly exploit as primary tools to advance their radicalization agendas and raise illicit funds. By bridging the gap between traditional investigative techniques and modern digital forensics, this training curriculum ensures that the ODPP remains adaptive and capable of securing convictions in an increasingly virtual theater of conflict. Central to this evolving threat is the use of cryptocurrencies, and virtual assets, which provide new avenues for the anonymous movement of capital across borders. Consequently, the curriculum addresses the use of internet and decentralized finance for terrorist purposes, as this remains a major challenge for international counterterrorism, cybersecurity, and digital governance. On the bright side, technological advancements have also aided the timely identification and detection of these activities. By leveraging blockchain analytics and advanced digital forensics, authorities can enhance their efforts to counter criminal activities, including terrorism and its financing. The global effort to combat terrorism and transorganized crimes is fundamentally built upon the pillars of enhanced cooperation, coordination, and collaboration between domestic and international agencies. Recognizing the complex and evolving nature of terrorism and transorganized crimes, it is imperative for state agencies to develop robust institutional frameworks, including multi-agency guidelines and specialized manuals. These tools ensure a uniform, coordinated response to emerging threats while upholding international best practices and human rights standards. A central theme of this curriculum is the recognition that terrorists and criminal networks often utilize faster, more efficient information sharing structures than the formal state bureaucracies. To counter this, we must reduce structural barriers to information flow and strategically embrace informal information channels and intelligence-led policing. Further, prioritizing collaborations in capacity building initiatives, we aim to bridge critical knowledge gaps within our human resource framework. Through this shared learning model, the ODPP strengthens its internal expertise, ensuring a more resilient and sophisticated response to the complex criminal networks targeting our region. Ladies and gentlemen, the curriculum further highlights the critical role of specialized judicial infrastructure in securing justice. A cornerstone of this effort is the Kahawa Law Courts, Kenya's premier specialized domestic court dedicated to counter-terrorism and transorganized crimes. Since its establishment in 2020, this court has been instrumental in the tremendous development and growth of local jurisprudence. By concentrating city and transorganized cases within this specialized station, the ODPP and the judiciary have been able to refine prosecutorial strategies and foster a deeper understanding of the unique evidentiary challenges inherent in these high-stakes proceedings. This institutional specialization is a key learning point within our curriculum. The curriculum also underscores the fact that our legal resolutions and strategic frameworks hold little significance if we do not prioritize the human element. The victims of terrorism and transnational organized crime. Victims of these atrocities serve as a constant reminder of our collective responsibility to prevent and hold enterprises accountable. It is essential to recognize the unique place and voice of victims throughout the judicial process, ensuring that the pursuit of justice is both inclusive and restorative. In addition, the pursuit of justice in these high-stakes environments carries a heavy psychological burden. This curriculum introduces a critical focus on vicarious trauma and mental health support for counterterrorism prosecutors. Given the persistent exposure to extremist violent graphic evidence and the high-pressure nature of specialized litigation and the Kahawa Law Courts, we must prioritize the mental well-being of our staff. By integrating trauma-informed practices, we ensure that our prosecutors remain resilient and effective. Finally, allow me to recognize and appreciate Mr. Jody Young, the U.S. resident legal advisor based at the UN Embassy in Kenya, and Mr. Jennifer Rido, the former criminal justice advisor, British High Commission, for mentoring prosecutors within the counter-terrorism division. Both Young and Rido have been instrumental in assisting the ODPP team in preparing for trials by sharing both the US and UK experience in prosecuting terror and terror-related cases. It is such experiences that have strengthened our prosecutions teams and guaranteed success. With these remarks, it is my distinct honor to celebrate the culmination of our collaborative efforts and to officially launch the Counter-Terrorism and Countering the Financing of Terrorism Curriculum Manual. God bless you all, and thank you. To our guests, Karibuni Kenya. Thank you.
Thank you, DPP, for those motivating remarks in your keynote address. They were not only informative, but also very unifying, signifying why we are all here as stakeholders in the fight against counterterrorism. The DPP is a very time-conscious person, and I want to assure you, ladies and gentlemen, that as your MC, I will ensure that you meet your appointments and engagements that you may have fixed after this event. Allow me now to invite Mr. Hassan Abdi, who will lead us in the launch of the curriculum. Mr. Abdi is the Senior Deputy Director in charge of Inspectorate and Quality Assurance. He works with a cane around the ODPP, ensuring that we are all up to our best moral standards. Mr. Abdi.
Mr. Kemo, you are in my good books today. Thank you very much. Honorable DPP Sir of Kenya, Honorable DPPs from our neighbors, all distinguished guests, allow me also to stand on the protocol as observed. Honorable DPP Sir, now is a time that we have all been waiting for. As it has been said, indeed, today is a joyous occasion. Sir, it's your day today. So I'm going to have to ask you to be firm here, because we're going to have a couple of photo sessions with this group here. So we will be led by the Honorable DPP in cutting the ribbon. And DPP, sir, you'll be joined first by the speakers who have been here this morning. May I ask the person with the scissors? Where is the lady or gentleman with a pair of scissors? And the photographers, please come nearer, because we are going to arrange us on how we are going to stand. I hope they have enough space here. So may I now take this opportunity, it's my honor to now invite you, sir, to lead us in cutting of the ribbon and officially launching this very important document. Honorable DPP, sir, please welcome. And the speakers, all of you are on this front seat. Please join the Honorable DPP. After this, we will have you, speakers, and the Honorable DPP here first for the first photo session. So may we all be upstanding, please. There's going to be a bit of noise and some flowers, I think, flying all over the place. Let's not get scared. Where are the speakers? Please join them. Join the Honorable DPP on stage. All speakers, including Mr. Nelson Harvey. Mr. Harvey, you are there. Please. So let's be clapping as the Honorable DPP is cutting the ribbon. Please, one more round of applause, please. So don't run away. There's going to be something coming out of this. Once more, please. Applause, applause. Thank you very much. May I now invite you, sir, to be here for the first photo session. Honorable speakers, all of you, please come and join the Honorable DPP. The photographer, please help us in arranging the protocol. We have to be gender sensitive. I think we need to mix and match, I think. The two ladies here, you need to separate yourselves, I suppose. Can we have a gentleman in between the two ladies here? Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Good. So please be fast. After this, please can I kindly ask our stakeholders, if you know you're a stakeholder, kindly come and join this team. Quickly, please. I know it's a very wide definition, stakeholder. Who is a stakeholder? If you know you're a stakeholder, please come up. Very quickly, please. Jen, Madam Masharia. If you remain there, then we will consider you a non-stakeholder and we will refuse to invite you next time. Please come up. Photographers, do you think we need to have one line, or maybe we can make two lines? Please come. You need to tell us how wide your cameras are and whether you can capture all of us in one line or two lines. Quickly, please. So those who are not so endowed with height, please can be on the front line. Are you? Jane, please move forward. I think you forgot your high heels today. Mr. Kemo has invited himself in. He's a key stakeholder anyway. Thank you. Thank you very much. May I kindly ask the Honorable DPPs to remain on the stage? Only the DPPs. And Madam Cecil. Yes. Inakuja. Madam Siso, please. Yes. Isn't it a joyous occasion today, DPP? It is. So you must smile, or you'll be prosecuted. Thank you so much, Honorable DPPs. May I now kindly ask the team, the working group team, to come up for the photo session with the Honorable DPP of Kenya. The working team, the group that worked hard day and night, and you must smile. May I, sir, with your permission, invite in this session Madam Jen. If Jody was here, he would have joined us. And in particular, Mr. Said Kiprotich, the head of the anti-terror police unit in Kenya. Anti-terrorism, I'm being corrected, anti-terrorism police. Mr. Said Kiprotich, karibu. These are the people you interact with, I think, all the time. Please smile. I know when you are prosecuting, you are not. You don't smile often, but here today, you must smile. Thank you so much. Next, we just have about 2 or so, sir, to go. Don't get tired. Honorable magistrates, where are you? Please come. How often do you smile? I can. At least today you will have to smile. Thank you very much. And lastly, may I invite senior deputy directors and deputy directors present for the photo, for the last photo session with the Honorable DPP. Please move forward. Judge Njuguna, I was being told that I forgot to invite you. I said you were in the first group. I ask for your forgiveness. Deputy directors present and senior deputy directors. Mr. Kemo, this is where you should have been and not in any other photo, eh? You're most welcome. Oh. You're the only friend I have in this room. Thank you so much. So that marks the end of the official launch. I wish to hand the mic over to Mr. Kemo. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hassan. Although I'm in your good books, I'm not so sure you are in my good books. You know, I'm the one who shines those show-cause letters. So if yours comes, I won't hesitate. Now, I think we are pretty much at the end of our program. I want to invite Mr. Vincent Monda, OGW, NDC Kenya, a Senior Deputy Director in charge of the Department of Regional and County Affairs and Regulatory Prosecutions, to propose a vote of thanks Mr. Monda is a seasoned city prosecutor. He was also in Mombasa at the time when we were experiencing piracy, and there would be no better person to offer this vote of thanks. Mr. Monda.
Good morning all protocols observed. Thank you, Mr. Kemo. Indeed, it's true that the speech that the DPP has read mirrors my own journey as a prosecutor insofar as CT is concerned. DPP, it is a very important occasion today because when we pioneered as prosecutors handling CT-related matters, we had no curriculum. In fact, today I'm very privileged to be seated next to the person we began the journey with. That is now the director of the anti-terrorism unit, Mr. Said Kiprotich. It so happened that in the year 2009, I find a file on my desk. I go to court, very happy and very ready. Who do I find on the opposite side? I find Bugwa Mureithi and Chacha, advocates. It immediately dawns on me that I'm not dealing with my usual type of criminal cases. This is actually a terrorism-related case. Who is my investigator? Mr. Said Kiprotich. When we begin the trial process, nobody would touch that file. And there are two prosecutors, DPP, who I must name here, Mr. Undimu and where is Laura Spira. They would not even mention the matter. They will simply tell the judicial officer that is Mr. Monda's file and he is coming to handle it. When I was transferred to Malindi, 2014, the matter was still going on. I told Mr. Keriako Tobiko, then the DPP, that kindly hand over this file to another prosecutor so that since I'm proceeding to Malindi on transfer, for him or her to proceed with the matter. The DPP was very firm. I've appointed you to handle the matter. Find time to deal with your matter. The same went from Mr. Said Kiprotich. He was equally transferred like me to the coast. He was told, no, you deal with and liaise with Mr. Monda and make sure that you handle that matter. So you begin to see the importance of today's curriculum. If we had the hindsight of this curriculum, Said Kiprotich and myself would have pursued, because they were later convicted, and now serving, but we would have pursued the aspect of financing. For us, we were very excited and very happy with the conviction, but with the hindsight of this particular curriculum, we should have pursued. How were they able to purchase AK-47s? How were they able to purchase grenades? For the first time in my career, I was afraid, because we could not even bring that cachet of arms that they were in possession with to court, because we feared that should that have exploded, it would be very catastrophic. In fact, the current Deputy Inspector General of Police came to testify in that matter. And he said, if those gentlemen had succeeded in whatever they had intended to do, the explosives were the DPP for coming up with this very important curriculum. I now have more friends, including the ones who refused to assist, and IIJ for assisting us and coming up with this curriculum, because it not only strengthens our resolve in fighting terrorism, but ensures that we have a coordinated approach, there is capacity building, and more importantly, international coordination. For our stakeholders, the judiciary, I thank you, Honorable Judge of Appeal. Thank you for coming. I'm sure some of these cases will find themselves before your court. So we expect that no matter how you decide these cases, you will keep on building the jurisprudence within this particular field. It's a very emerging field. For our colleagues, the Chief Magistrates, Misiji, Mr. Koech, but the Honorable Koech was a prosecutor in our office, for those who may not know. We expect that this is a tough job, just like the prosecutor's job is tough. But with the hindsight of this training manual, you'll then begin to appreciate the perspective of the prosecutor. For our stakeholders, the Law Society of Kenya, and other stakeholders, we thank you very much for finding time to be with us today, because it takes the efforts of all of us to ensure that at the end of the day, whichever manner these cases are decided, the human rights aspect of it is taken into account, the fair trial aspect of it is taken into account, so that at the end of the day, it is a win-win situation for all the criminal justice actors. In a special way, let me thank the honorable DPPs present today. Your commitment out of your busy schedule to be here today, asanteni sana. We wish you well. I am sure we'll continue to interact, whether through mutual legal assistance or extradition or capacity building programs. It is important that as a region, we have an approach that is not only uniform, but consistent. With those few remarks, allow me to thank each one of you for having found time to be here, and please give yourselves a round of applause. I also equally thank the MC. No MC, everybody forgets you. Yeah, for a job well done and the management of the hotel. Asanteni sana and God bless you all.
Thank you, Mr. Monda. You remind me of my first time handling a terrorism case. Mr. Muteti had just been transferred to Mombasa, and Muteti was handling those terrorism cases, had traveled to Germany over some piracy issues. So Mr. Tobiko calls me and tells me, Kemo, you must proceed